Hi, everyone. Jeff Lee here, Program Director of TMASF Connects. I'll once again be joined by Jen Pollard, our Chief Operating Officer, and Shirley Lin, our Marketing Associate. Today, we are continuing our series of informational interviews with Dale Roberts, founder of Centarus. As a disclaimer, please note that Centarus is a partner and the IT team of TMASF Connects. We are continuing our series on cybersecurity, and today's topic will be on introducing the cloud. We do have a fact sheet available online, and notes for some of the terms used today will be available at the end of the video as well. Jumping right in, Dale, what is the cloud? How is it created, and what need does it fill?
Good morning, Jeff. And let's see. So what is the cloud? Very general question. It was initially believed to have been created by a gentleman by the name of Joseph Licklider back in the 1960s in a government's agency called ARPANET. So Advanced Research Projects Agency Network is what it stands for. So it was intended as a network to connect various people from anywhere at any time. So transmitting data, setting up communications, kind of a proof of concept. And some of the advantages, it gave you that ability to connect from anywhere in the world, which really just is a huge milestone, as we know today. It's elaborated quite a bit. So some of the disadvantages, it was brand new, a ton of security risks. They didn't know what they didn't know back then. So but I would say, so originally 1960s is when it first started for the cloud concept.
Wow. Very, very long time ago, looks like.
Yeah, much longer than a lot of people think. So been around for a while.
All right. Thank you, Dale.
Sure, you bet.
So Dale, how do you know if, I call it the host, the cloud, is it reliable or secure? What should we be looking for?
Good question. Yeah, good question. I think like anything, it's important to do your homework and, look at your vendors. You want to speak with references. You want to look at online feedback. But most importantly, especially in major cloud providers, ton of them out there. I'm not necessarily going to name any names, but you want to look at what they use for certifications and standards and technologies used. Are they adhering to their compliances required? What is their roadmap for growth? Data security, governance policies are imperative to follow for these providers. There's a very strict standard, an ISO 127001, I think, is the compliance that most cloud providers need to follow in co-location facilities. You should also look at their contracts and their SLAs for these various vendors. Is it known if they've been around for a while? As they're tested, is reliability and performance from these vendors? Look at if you're migrating from one cloud to the other. What's the support look like? What's that experience look like? And what's their overall business health look like? Their company profile. Again, are they reputable? Are they redundant? And have they been around for a while? Some basic questions to ask.
So part of that, when we talk about, you look at the cloud and trying to figure out what's the right method for you. Mm-hmm. If there is a data breach in a cloud security, and sometimes you see it on the internet, you see stories about things happening. What should a consumer do if there's a data breach?
Well, so that is going to first and foremost, what you should be thinking about, what you should have planned is a disaster recovery plan, and this could adhere to your own personal data, your company data, or your cloud data. So you want to follow a plan. You want to have a good plan on what does that look like in case of a breach. Who should I contact? What are the timelines? Also, the type of breach. Is it around? Is it data? What's the data look like? Is it in rest? Is it in transit? What are the steps required in terms of communication internally? What do I need to tell my team? How do we prioritize these various items? What are the steps required from like a state and federal regulatory compliance. Who do I need to contact at what time? So it's a lot of questions around that, but it all should all start with your incident response plan for, again, personal data, your business data and your cloud data.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. You bet.
And Dale, I guess you kind of touched upon my question right there, but can you elaborate more if there is any federal regulatory body that oversees cloud management or privacy practices?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, there's no official regulatory body for general cloud oversight and management at this time. And the reason being, it's still complex for a lot of people in terms of the guidelines for federal, state, municipal, international. What are these responsibilities? What law should you abide by for various cloud, what they call tenant providers? It's evolving quite a bit. There's some new compliances that people are starting to follow and adhere to. A couple popular ones. One is called CIS. It's based on the Center for Internet Security. Another one is NIST, which is a National Institute of Standards and Technology. So I think back to the previous answer, I think what this really, first and foremost, so you got to have an IR plan, a disaster recovery plan. And so I think following a disaster recovery plan in tandem with some type of framework like CIS or NIST is a good place to start. So we're not there yet, but eventually I think we're going to be either at the state or regulatory level.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, you bet.
So Dale, you mentioned this incident response plan or the disaster recovery plan.
Yep.
Is there anything else I should be doing to protect my data when I'm using cloud storage? Does having some type of security software offer any additional cloud protection?
Absolutely. Yeah, the thing with security is it's multiple layers. You want to look at, where's my data? What type of data is it? Is it physically present on just my workstation in the office? Is it present on my workstation in the home office and the office via some cloud collaborative solution? If it does reside at multiple locations, in addition to the cloud, where it resides locally on your computer, is your computer encrypted? So taking a couple steps back and asking that question, worst case scenario, if I have a break into my office and my computer is stolen and I have a ton of client or PII data on that machine, what's the result of that if it ends up on the dark web and it's compromised, and what are my responsibilities? So I think really understanding the risks first and foremost is going to help you really answer that question. But it depends. It's not as easy as it used to be back in the day, but you want to look at it again. Multiple layers is very, very important. DNS protection as well, how you query on the web, having an EDR solution, endpoint desktop response, and then may even require something as sophisticated like an NDR, network detection response, which is a solution that monitors and evaluates your data traffic as it's running over the network and over your WAN, your wide area network.
Okay, wow. A lot for us to do some research on.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a couple more questions on the cloud, but we'll continue that on in our next session. Thank you for your time today, Dale.
You bet.
Hope everyone finds these videos helpful. For more information, please visit our website and see our fact sheet at tmasfconnects.org. If you want more information on IT solutions, please reach out to Centarus at centarus.co. Thanks today, Dale.
You bet.